An Indigenous film out of BC made its way to the International Film Festival of Ottawa over the weekend. It's the first time a film about residential schools is being shown on the big screen for international audiences. CBC's Vincent Papequash tells us about the shift in Indigenous filmmaking.
I'm here at the Ottawa Art Gallery, headquarters of the International Film Festival of Ottawa. I came here to talk to the director of an Indigenous film that's gaining international success. Clements was at the IFFO for her film Bones of Crows, which made it to the Toronto International Film Festival last year.
I haven't been to Ottawa for a while, and so I'm just really happy to be here and for audiences to see Bones of Crows in the theatre.
Clements is one of our greatest Indigenous filmmakers. She's also a great playwright and author. And also, given what the film is about, which is about this extraordinary woman who survived the residential school system.
I don't want to spoil everything.
Adriana Chartrand from Telefilm says that Indigenous filmmakers have faced barriers in the past getting their films shown for a worldwide audience, but that they are trying to improve that.
We're seeing a wider breadth of genre coming from Indigenous creators, which is super exciting, like sci-fi, horror, comedies, romantic comedies.
Well, I think it's just been really hard for Indigenous filmmakers to get the support that they deserve. So you're kind of going, how do films get funded? Who's on those juries? How do they look at Indigenous content?
A lot of the time, cinema does start with documentary, and documentary is going to start with those, often traumatic stories that are really close to home and really personal and are sort of big social issues. So that it makes sense in that light. And I do think there was another aspect of it where decision makers who weren't necessarily Indigenous may have been sort of pushing Indigenous creators to that genre or to that type of story, because that's what non-Indigenous decision makers or audiences felt like they wanted to see.
Bones of Crows received funding from both CBC and Telefilm. It's one of the first films to tell the stories of residential schools to an international audience. Bones of Crows will be turned into a CBC television series that will air later this fall. Vincent Papequash, CBC News, Ottawa.